Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to try to address something related to self-respect, self-care and self-realization, and the places where people can self-sabotage their life or become induced in so much darkness that they end up supporting and enabling some kind of abuse in their own life. And I'm going to demonstrate it by giving a video where some in the video itself the some aspects of this topic is introduced, and in the comment section the original poster has also commented on an additional thing that happened after the incidents that was narrated in this video is shown. So in the video, there's this girl who is going to get married, and I'm assuming she is a Christian girl. She was going to get married, and because only in Christianity or in Western cultures have I seen people go wedding dress shopping, where they wear different kinds of wedding dresses, and then after they select a particular wedding dress and buy it. They wear it on the wedding day. And in this video the mother-in-law wants to wear the bride's wedding dress because she says she loves wedding dresses. Now this kind of a happening will not happen in Indian culture, where a bride is not the traditional Christian kind of a bride. Even in certain Indian Christian weddings also, if they are not very westernized Christians, there also the bride's dress is never worn by anyone else except the bride. And in Indian culture, instead of dresses we usually wear saris. Even some Indian Christians wear saris during their wedding. So except for a Christian bride or a Jewish bride who wear the traditional white dresses in their wedding, in India, it's not common for anyone else to wear the bride's dress. The bride gets to go and select her dress. Someone else might select her wedding dress for her as well, but no one else gets to wear that dress that is specifically meant for her wedding. But so what happened was her mother-in-law wanted to wear that dress. The bride said no, as she should, because it's her wedding dress. But her fiance violated this boundary set with the mother-in-law, and when the girl comes to her home one day, she sees that her fiance is there, and her fiance is preventing her from going into her room. And it turns out that the mother-in-law was trying out her wedding dress, and that disgusts the girl so much that she takes a picture of the mother-in-law in that wedding dress, and she demands that the fiance's mother should pay for a new wedding dress. Now, this was the original post, and in that post, every single woman who has any self-respect has told her to dodge this marriage, to get away from this marriage, to end this marriage, to run because this is a red flag, because he's a mama's boy, because the boy didn't see anything wrong in his mother wearing that dress. Instead of respecting his girlfriend's boundary, he's respecting his mom's desire to wear a wedding dress. And considering the fact that there are so many wedding dress places in US, or let's presume this happened in US, considering that there are so many wedding dress shops around the world also, not simply in US, that mother-in-law, if she had really a craving to try out different wedding dresses, she could have easily gone to any place and pretended to be a bride and do wedding dress shopping for herself. She could have taken some kid that she knows in her family who might get married in the future and gone dress shopping with that kid, and both of them could have tried out. She could have taken a friend to go dress shopping with her, and they could both have pretended to buy a wedding dress. Remember how in Friends we see Monica, Rachel and Phoebe. I don't know if Phoebe wore a wedding dress, but I remember Monica and Rachel going and pretend dress shopping, even though they were neither of them engaged. So it's not that abnormal that if you suddenly get a craving to try out a fashionable outfit or look beautiful, if that part of you wants to be expressed, there's nothing stopping you to go and do a pretend wedding dress shopping. None of these places would actually stop you from not buying their dress. They want customers, so they allow customers to come and try out these wedding dresses. So she has an avenue to, if she had just craving to wear a wedding dress, there were many alternatives for this mother-in-law to explore this aspect. The thing that is disgusting, that the girl wrote that she felt very disgusted, and it should be disgusting, is because when you wear a particular wedding dress for on your wedding day, what does a wedding represent? A wedding represents the life that will begin when two partners will mate with each other, two partners will have a life with each other, two people will have progeny with each other. So the wedding dress is a physical representation of that sexual relationship and future life partnership related relationship you will have as a man and a wife. That's why that wedding dress is so sacred for everyone, and this is sacred for every bride globally. It is not something that is sacred to a Christian bride, sacred to a Hindu bride, nothing like that. Every bride will should get disgusted if they ever find their mother-in-law, sister-in-law, friend wearing the same wedding dress that they have selected for themselves. That's why we have also so many unique different creations also for women. No two wedding dresses or outfits actually look alike. Even if two brides buy the same wedding outfit and they have the same figure, dress size, everything, even then how they will accessorize the same wedding outfit will be very different from each other, because it is supposed to be slightly unique than what everyone else is doing, and it is supposed to be slightly and more special to the bride for this reason, that she is giving her life away to a partner, where after the wedding she'll stay with the partner. After the wedding she's meant to build a life with that partner. After the wedding they are meant to have a special unique relationship. Nowadays people have live-in relationships, but earlier and in traditional and conservative cultures, people don't even sleep with their partners until after the wedding. So the wedding dress is also the representation of the beginning of a sexual relationship with someone as well. And ideally, if they're loyal to each other, they're not also supposed to sleep with anyone else. That is also the sanctified and sacred aspect of marriage with someone. That usually this is what marriage is meant to represent, a sacred relationship where that sexual aspect of the relationship is something only those two should be having. That's why people get offended when their partners cheat. That's why people do not want to get back to a partner who has cheated on them. That's why people have, that's an unsaid unspoken rule of marriage, that if you're getting married to someone, you are that marriage itself means that everyone else shouldn't be allowed in your internal space of who gets to touch your body, who gets to sleep with you, who gets to have access to an aspect of you that no one else should have then access to except your partner. So that is what the wedding dress is represented. And if the mother-in-law doesn't understand it, or even if the mother-in-law understands it, because she has obviously been a mother-in-law and having given birth to a son, means that she also had a wedding. So she understands this sacred aspect of marriage, even if she doesn't fully realize it, because there are many mentally ill or mentally immature human beings who, even in their 50s, 60s, do not realize the boundaries and sacredness of marriage of others. They might themselves want their marriage to be sacred and private and everything, but they do not respect other people's boundaries. Those kind of women exist. These are the same type of women who will flirt with other people's spouses, same kind of women or men, because men also can tend to do that. But because it's a wedding dress specific issue, it's a women's issue. Some women do that. They know that someone is engaged to someone else, someone is married to someone else, someone has been married for 10-20 years to someone else. Even then they will want that person's spouse. So this, which is a toxic trait, and now from that toxic trait, this mother-in-law is a heightened representation of that toxic trait, gone further into not simply her own generation's men, but into wanting to take over something that should be sacred between her son and his spouse. So the mother-in-law is very bad with boundaries, and knowing this only, most of the women are saying that if the boy can't stop his mother from violating the boundary set by his spouse, and this is not simply a boundary set by the woman. Every woman should be offended. If the woman is not offended, then that woman also is mentally ill, socially ill, or has some problem if she is okay with the mother-in-law wearing a dress that is sacred and meant to be only for the bride. Very few people, even after 10-20 years of having had a wedding, end up giving after 20-30 years that wedding dress to their daughter or a daughter-in-law, or even a grandchild 50-60 years down the line. Very few people would want to share that wedding dress with anyone else. So, and as it should be, because it's a representative model of something. It's like if you get a wedding ring also, do you want anyone else to possess that wedding ring? After 30 years, 60 years, if you give it to your grandchild or child, you might be willing to share it with them as a heritage thing that you're giving away to your progeny. But otherwise, same way with a wedding ring, you wouldn't want to share it with anyone. It is sacred to you and the marriage vows you took with your spouse, right? So there are certain things that shouldn't be shared with everyone, even though the rule of living on earth is that you should be sharing many things with each other. But certain things are very private to you that shouldn't be shared, because they represent something related to loyalty, they represent something related to the sacredness of a relationship. Same way, say the mother gives something as a gift to the child when the child was small. If the child doesn't want to share that one particular gift, it's not that mothers can give many things to their children as a gift when they were children. But out of those, if the mother gives you 10 gifts, but out of those, if there's one gift that you hold precious for yourself and you don't want to share that gift with anyone else, that is also allowed usually, right? Like, say they give you a book that you really treasure, and even if your book has all torn out, worn down, broken, the pages are tattered, there are certain books like that people are so emotionally attached to. Sometimes a mother might have given a teddy bear to a kid. The child can get so attached to that teddy bear that even 30, 40, 50 years afterwards, they will not want to part away with the teddy bear, because it represents a aspect of their childhood that they shared with their parents. A mother could have gifted, a father could have gifted, that is so precious and personal to them that they don't want to share. And no one will, laugh at you if you don't want to share your childhood teddy bear with anyone else, that one toy. If you have only one toy that you're doing this, no one will laugh you. But if you do it with every toy that you got from your parents and you don't want to share it, then it is a problem zone, right? If you have 10 books, and out of that one book you have preserved and never wanted to give away or share with anyone, that's fine. But if you have 10 or hundreds of books given by your parents and you don't want to share it with any friend who comes to your home, or any sibling, or anyone who's your grandchild, then you tend to be the selfish one, right? So these are the ways in which you distinguish and understand what is the balance in life between what is sacred, what is not meant to be shared, and what is meant to be shared. Likewise, if a husband has given his wife over 30-40 years of marriage 5 jewelry pieces, and out of those 5 jewelry pieces, except for the wedding band, most women, if they love their kids, if they love their progeny, they don't have a problem sharing their other jewelry with their kids. But again, will any mother share the wedding ring with their kid until after maybe the husband has passed away, or until after they have had